Hey guys, how you doing? G.I. Joe here, and welcome back to my bunker here in Atlanta, Georgia. It's been a long time since I've been on YouTube. I've been doing a lot, traveling a lot. Summertime, but we're settled back in here, and we hope everybody is doing well. Hope you are healthy and well and safe during this crazy time. But today I just received the ever coveted Bloodbath 4 deck of cards. I actually purchased 2 decks because I have 2 tables here, and I might be needing to take these 2 tables to the tournament here in September. And so summer's about over, at least the June and July summer months, and we're getting into August here soon. And so we're about to be 7-8 weeks away from the Bloodbath number 4. We've had 2 of them in LA. We had one in here in Georgia last year. It was a huge success. So we're getting ready for Bloodbath 4. So I want to talk to you about the card deck today. You may or may not have seen this, but this card deck comes to you compliments, of course, of Sire Blood, who created it, and of course to Matt Todd, who helped to get this loaded up into makingplayingcards.com. Now, if you're interested in purchasing this deck, I will put the link here after this live session in the description, and you can go to makingplayingcards.com. Purchase them, I think, depending if you get plastic or the regular cards, somewhere in the, I don't know, 25, 30, 32 range per deck. Can't remember exactly, but this is just a regular deck, not the jumbo size. I don't think that is out yet. I love the jumbo size. This is the jumbo size of my last deck. You can see the difference here. But nonetheless, hey, who is that? Moose? What's up, Moose Cow? So hope you're doing well up there in Chicago. So I thought I'd go over this deck a little bit, show you the difference. I know some of you guys have ordered this deck already, and if you're preparing for the tournament coming up in September, you're definitely going to want to check this out. You don't have to buy this deck, by the way, from playingcards.com. If you want to go to sireblood.com/community, you can register for free and get on the forum and like download the files. You know, you can print these off on paper if you want, just so you can see the different NOs. So what I want to do today is, one, this is just a kind of a greeting to get back into the whole YouTube thing. It has been a while for me, but I also wanted to use this as a kickoff for this fall and the preparation for Bloodbath 4 tournament. So Moose Cow here is watching. Thanks for watching, Moose, and congratulations to him and his compadre, I think, Madman. And I think they won BBR St. Louis here back in, was it March, if I'm not mistaken. So congratulations to them. They did a great job. Looking forward to actually meeting them here in in September. So I'm going to go straight to the national objectives. As you know, if you have ever seen a Bloodbath card deck, you know that the first thing you get is a set of rules. So this is one card deck. You'll get one set of rules for one side of the table, and then you get another set of rules for the other side of the table, right? And this is not the entire book. You can get the entire book. At some point, Sire Blood is working on updating the rule book to be downloaded for free off of his website. He's updating it to Bloodbath 4 stuff. But these are the major things that you're going to be dealing with. You know, convoys, turn sequence, all the kinds of things, research and development, typical stuff. We'll go over that at a later time. But this, I want to show you the new national objectives. So let's put this aside. All right, so let's talk about some German national objectives. And you'll have to forgive me. You know, we've gone through several phases here of Bloodbath to where sometimes it's hard to remember what was different between 1 and 2, what was different between 2 and 3. And so I'll just let you know what I remember as being the difference between Bloodbath 3 and Bloodbath 4. So, of course, that's just the general political situation for Germany. Nothing has changed. That's typical out of box. All right. So you see the German two IPCs per territory if Germany controls Iran, Iraq, Northwest Iran, or Caucasus. Okay. So Northwest Iran is right. You can see at the top of my corner. Boom, right there. Some of these names have been changed on the Bloodbath map. All right, so there's there. I think in out of box it says Persia, but they're doing Iran. Okay, 5 Germany controls London. I think that's typical. 3 IPCs if Germany has at least 1 land unit in Egypt or El Alamein. Okay, I think that's what the difference is, El Alamein. All right, so if UK bails out of El Alamein and Italy steps up, Germany drops a dude in there, pair up, whatever, you can get an extra $3. All right, this is typical out of box, right? Germany controls Denmark, Sweden, Norway, etc., etc. That's typical out of box. Germany controls Leningrad, Stalingrad, or Moscow. Per territory, $5. I think that's out of box, or at least hasn't changed since the last one. I know that. Okay, this is a different one. If Germany is armistice with France, essentially, if when Germany goes into southern France over here, let me take this. If Germany goes into southern France right here, they have 2 options. If they take the territory and they want to take the 3 IPCs, then it's just like a typical out-of-box game. The French pieces move around, they fight the French fight them, etc., etc. The thing that's different is if Germany decides to do armistice, they go in, they take southern France, and then they back out on the next turn, and they drop 1 French dude. What does that mean? That means they don't get the 3 IPCs, but they do get a 2 IPC bonus. All right? They do get the 2 IPC bonus as long as Germany has armistice with France. Okay? And that's every turn, right? And of course, well, all that also means that if they have armistice, all the French pieces that are not already paired up with allies they're frozen. They have to stand put. All right, but we can talk about that more specific in a subsequent video. But that's a different, Of course, we have let's continue on. No, it's not round 1 only. It's at any round. It could be round 1, round 2, round 3. The only advantage of doing it on round 1 there, Rube, is if you do it on round 1, none of the French pieces get to move. If you do it on round 2, the French Navy might leave. Well, if they can get past the Italian Navy on Italy 1. So, but no, any round. All right, Germany has 5 subs on the map. That has not changed since BB3. Okay, not at war with Soviet Union 5. That has not changed. Okay, and this is that if at war with Italy, this is the BBR rule. If Italy flips over to the Allies because Rome falls, then for every originally Italian-controlled territory, Germany will get +2. All right. So that's that. Not a lot of new stuff for Germany as far as national objectives are concerned, so we'll put that off to the side. All right, Russia. There are a couple changes here in Russia. Political situation is the same. I would like to note that European Axis and Japan are separate treaties, so as far as the Lend-Lease is concerned. So you will see that in a minute. Trans-Siberian Rail, nothing has changed on that since last BBR. The Lend-Lease has changed. Okay, so you're going to want to check out the Lend-Lease card for Russia. Okay, if you roll the dice here, it's a much more lucrative Lend-Lease for the Soviets. Okay. So because of that, the Axis are going to probably want to do what they can to block those Lend-Lease icons on the map, which are up here off of Norway and over here off of Far East over here. Okay, so you can see there. I'm not going to read through all these cards, but just giving you an overview, a glance. All right, so that's that. Mongolian defense. This is different. Well, no, Mongolian defense is the same as last. The only thing that is changing in this is that if Japan decides to attack Mongolia, it does not affect the other strict neutrals. Okay, Mongolia is itself. The Mongolian rule is in effect, to where if Japan attacks Mongolia, or Japan attacks Amur, for instance, it does affect the Mongolian rule and activates it, but it does not. It is not linked to the other strict neutrals. Okay, so So that's basically what this card says. All right, so let's see here. Soviet mobile production, that is the same, but moving for factories, etc. It cost, I think, 2 IPCs now. Can't remember if BB3 was 1 IPCs or 2, but it is 2 IPCs now to move a factory. All right, $7 one-time payment if Soviet Union liberates Manchuria. Okay, it's been 10, it's been 5, now it is 7. All right, $3. I think this is standard out of box. Soviet controls Siberia, Ukraine, Urals. Okay. If they control at least 3 of the following, I think that's out of box, or at least hasn't changed since last BB3. Each territory that the Soviet Union controls that was originally German, Italian, or pro-Axis. What's up, Sired? +2 for the Soviet Union. Got a cigar, I bet. So, yeah, so like, you know, the down here in the Middle East, this is pro-Axis now. So if the Soviet Union gets down in here, that's a +2. When at war, of course. All right, that's basically the UK. I'm sorry, not the UK, the USSR. All right, let's look at a few. Japan, political situation. The only thing that is different here, is the political situation with Thailand right here. All right, so let me basically explain that without messing this up. Let's see if here. All right, so with Thailand is now going to be pro-Axis, and it has a standing army of 4, right? And it has changed from Siam to Thailand. So Sire did all the research, if I'm not mistaken, and there was a state of war between these two countries. So basically, Japan, if they come in and they annex and claim Thailand, yes, they would get these 4 standing armies. However, that would negate their 10 IPC NO, okay? Because a state of war then would be with French Indochina automatically. So if they come to get this, they're going to negate their 10 IPC bonus for not attacking FIC, because technically they would be in war with FIC. So that's how that works. Kamikaze has not changed since last BBR. Soviet Mongolian defense. Okay, this is what I was just talking about right here, where it says, if Russia attacks any Japanese controlled territories, if Japan attacks a Soviet-controlled territory as adjacent to the territory Mongolian, all Mongolian territories are neutral, become Soviet Union-controlled, activating the standing army. This happens immediately during the Japanese combat phase. But again, it does not activate all the other strict neutrals, okay? That's just, all right, so $10 if Japan captures Calcutta. That's different than out of box, I believe. $3 if Japan controls any of those. That has not changed since BB3. Okay, $5 if they control Calcutta, Sydney, Honolulu, and or San Francisco. All right, so basically what we have here, don't get these confused, you have a one-time payment for getting Calcutta, and then here's your, I hold Calcutta, so I can continue to collect a $5 per turn. Okay? So I guess technically you would collect 15 for Calcutta on that, because there'd be 10 on this, plus 5 there. Let me know, Sire, if I'm reading that incorrectly. Okay, $3 if Japan controls the following, any of the following per territory: Java, Sumatra, Celebes, and Borneo. So what happens is on the BBR map, which I don't have the map version 4 yet, but each of these territories is no longer worth 4. It's going to be worth 2. So Sumatra's 2, Java 2, Borneo 2, Celebes 2. So what that means is if Japan comes and takes Borneo, they get 2, and then they instantly get a +3. So really, each island is essentially worth 5 rather than the 4. So what that does is now Japan does not have to control all 4 of these islands in order to get their national objective. Each island is its own national objective because there were a lot of resources there, okay? That's how that reads. Of course, this has not changed. Japan controls all Chinese territories. It's +10. Japan controls Burma. That's +5. And not at war, out of box with U.S. And they have not attacked French Indochina. And they have not annexed Thailand. See, that's where that comes into play. And any unprovoked attack. So this is essentially the out-of-box national objective with the addition of has not annexed Thailand. So if you want Thailand, you can take it, but you're giving up $10 to get it. All right, so that's Japan. Yeah, Rube, bring on the Calcutta Crush. All right, let's go over to the Allies. Political situation, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed here. $5 if they control all of these islands or 3 of these islands. Oh, no, wait. Is this a new one? So if the Allies control at least 3 of the so Iwo Jima, Caroline, Marshall, Marianas, and Palau. Yes, that is new. This is another attempt to get the islands into the Pacific War. There's an incentive for Japan to get the islands because there's the Pacific Island Victory Point. However, there hasn't been really an incentive for the Allies to go island hopping other than the fact on tournament play to take away some points from the Axis. But so essentially, if the Allies have the ability to, or United States, the national objective would only go to the United States. But technically, if UK owns these 3 islands, the money would go to the United States, as I read it. Okay, per territory, if the United States places 2 units on eastern and western U.S. while at war, that's from last year. Controls this, Alaska, etc., Hawaii, and that's the same as out of box. This is the same as out of box. If United States has at least 1 land infantry in France or Normandy, Bordeaux, that's a +5. That's to encourage some landings in in Western Europe, right? And of course, the United States controls Philippines. That is out of box. That might have been included in another national objective before. But so the United States has the opportunity here to make more. What's up, VK? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. I had a scary dream that I owed you $264,000 last night. Thankfully, that's not the case. Whew. All right, here we go. China. So China, the biggest thing about China, and I say this is different. I can't remember if this was changed in 3 or 4. This may have been changed, but just to clarify, China can go into Southeast Asia. They can go in now. They can go into Burma, Shan State, Thailand, French Indochina, and Malaya. So they can win at war. They can go into here, win at war. The only thing is they cannot spawn in Southeast Asia. So they have to spawn in regular China territories. But if cavalry want to come down here and come in here blitz, what you want to come in here to non-com to help beef up UK defenses, attack into here to can't open for UK, whatever, but only while you are at war. All right, so let's look at here. Just make sure you check this out here. China, if you decide to buy a tank, this is the only nation that only has to pay $5 for a tank. So keep that in mind. I think some people may have been doing that wrong. No dream, my friend. Yeah, right. Oh, funny. All right. So Burma Road is Allied controlled, +6. That's the same as out of box. Okay, so nothing else is new for China. So we'll put that off to the side. We're getting close, guys. Thanks for hanging in with me. We're just kind of hanging out live, talking here, going over some stuff. Oh, what are the purchases? Where are the purchases able? Good question. Let me go back to the card here. All right, so if you read the card for China, of course, infantry, as out of box, you can place anywhere. Cavalry, you can place anywhere. And by anywhere, I mean originally controlled China territories. Got it? Artillery is the same as out of box, which means they can be purchased and placed the same as infantry, provided the Burma Road is open. So you can place them anywhere as long, the same as infantry. The tank, however, the tank may only be placed in Yunnan and Sichuan, and that is if the Burma Road is open. The cavalry can be placed anywhere as well. Okay, hope that answers your question, if I understood it correctly. Panzer J, how you doing, sir? Panzer J is going to be joining us in September. That's awesome. All right, so UK here. $5. UK controls Egypt, Transjordan, and El Alamein. I think that's typical. $5 if at war. Well, that's at war Europe. This is at war Japan. If they control India, West India, Burma, and Malaya. Now, some of the UK NOs I think are slightly different because, if I'm not mistaken, they may have split them up. And then there's another one here, if at war in Europe, and UK controls Iran, Iraq, or Northwest Iran, all right? So that's the UK stuff. Nothing new there. So the lesson is to close the Burma Road. That is correct, Hambone. Keep that baby closed. Right. All right, so Italy. Political situations, I don't think nothing has changed. If Axis, okay, if you're at war, let's do the ones if you're at war with the Allies first. Let's see here, that's Axis. All right, so if you're at war with the Allies, if the Axis or Vichy France, keep in mind, Vichy France is when Germany, and only Germany, it cannot be Italy. If Germany goes into southern France, does armistice, and pulls out of southern France, and freezes all of the French pieces on the board, then that means if the Axis or Vichy France control at least 3 of the following: Gibraltar, Vichy, Greece, or Egypt. So essentially what that means is, if Germany comes in here, sets up a government, pulls out and puts a Vichy French there, we didn't want to take away the NO that Italy would get for owning 3 of the 4 ports, right? Otherwise, that means that they would have to get Egypt. So that's how that keeps that national objective open for the Italians in an attempt to get them some more money. All right, moving right along here. So that's that. Okay, this is typical. No Allied warships, surface warships. Subs would not count, of course, in the Mediterranean Sea. Sea zones 92 to 99. If Axis control the following territories. Okay, Morocco, Algeria, Tunisia, Libya, Tobruk, and El Alamein. So essentially all of North Africa, with the exception of Cairo. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So that's a nice little objective, and I think it's doable, you know, at least earlier on, perhaps. Allies, okay, $2 per territory if Italy controls Iran, Iraq, and or Northwest Iran. So this gives Italy an incentive to go into the Middle East. So basically, everybody gets the same NO for going into the Middle East. UK gets 2, Russia gets 2, Italy gets 2. So that's that. And here is what we have. $1 per territory if Italy controls Kenya, Sudan, British Somaliland, El Alamein, Gibraltar, and or Cyprus. So essentially, the territories in North Africa, the Horn, and the Mediterranean that don't have an IPC value. Therefore, you know, there's a reason to go to Cyprus because you'll get $1, right? And especially that helps out if it's going to help you work towards the Reich point. Okay, so if at war with the Axis, for $2 for each territory that Italy controls that was originally pro-German or pro-Axis. Okay, so now this is Italy or Rome has been taken over by the Allies. It flips to an Allied power, and now they're at war with the Axis. So any German or pro-Axis territory now becomes an NO for them, +2. And of course, any originally controlled territory that they have is +5 if they're at war with the Axis. So that's Italy, and last thing will be the Commonwealth, and then we'll be out of here. Yeah, well, France. Okay. So let's look at this because Commonwealth is new. Because last, I think in BB3 we had Canada. Commonwealth will have the Union Jack. You can see I have my Union Jack Roundels out. Union Jack Roundels in Canada. Southwest Africa, South Africa are Commonwealth with the Union Jack. All right. I think they start with 16 bucks on the IPC tracker. So let's read through this. Commonwealth begins at war with Germany and Italy. They may declare war on Japan, okay, at the beginning of the combat move, so that's no different than what Anzac had at out of box. Commonwealth considers any attack on Dutch territory as act of war, same as out of box Anzac. Okay, here's where it might be different. Commonwealth is the only power which has two capitals, Ottawa and Sydney. If Ottawa or Sydney are taken by the Axis, then the Commonwealth is considered captured, which means they will have to give up their income, okay? So Commonwealth really has to protect Ottawa and Sydney, both of them. If either of them fall, they give up their money. All right, so here are the national objectives. If Commonwealth has at least 5 naval warships on the map, they get $5, and yes, a sub counts for a warship. Okay? Notice it didn't say surface warships, it said naval. So, all right, that's $5. If neither of the following are Axis controlled, Dutch New Guinea, Java, Dutch New Guinea, and New Guinea, Celebes, British, or Samoa. Okay, so if they are at war and none of these are taken by Japan, they will get +3. Not +3 per territory, just +3 total. If none of those are taken, then they get +3. If one of these are taken, they get nothing. I don't know if that made sense how I said that. $2 if at war in Europe. They can Commonwealth controls anything that was Axis or pro-Axis. So you might want to look on your map over here. If anything over here is, if they control anything that's pro-Axis or Axis, and that would include the Middle East, because that's technically on the European side of the board. All right, and then for France, they begin at war in Germany. They declare war on France is liberated allies. France receives up to 12 ICs worth of units. Yeah, I think that's typical out of box. The one thing that's different about France, there's a couple things. Other than the Vichy rule I talked about, there is, in the setup, there's one guy that was placed in French Indochina. And in southern France, we're adding 1 infantry, so now there's 2 infantry and an artillery. And in Normandy, 2 infantry and artillery as well. So we're adding an infantry each in Normandy and southern France, and adding an infantry in French Indochina. All right. So guys, I think that is it for the card deck. I think they were saying it takes 3 weeks to get in. I know Sire ordered his and he hasn't got them yet. Hey, Imperious Leader. Robert, nice to see you guys. Thanks for chiming in. Mr. Scrubbert. So I hope that answers any of your questions. Like I said, this is just an informal hang. It was more so just to get back. Like I said, you don't have to buy this if you don't want to. You can just go on to sireblood.com/community and register for free, and you can download this file, print it on printer paper, cut it up into small things, and I think a couple people have already done that. But so if you're coming to the tournament, I suggest you get this going and getting used to these new national objectives. If you're not, you just want to learn BB4, then it's well worth the investment. I'd say that for sure. Yeah, and Sire put the 4 on the deck. I like that. That way there's no way confusing this deck with previous decks, you know, because you're like, wait a minute, this, because, you know, he numbers the cards, right? This 33 of 90. Well, is this 33 of 90 of BB1, 33 of 90 of 2, BB2, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So now you know this is the most updated. 3490 is the most updated card deck or version of this. All right, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, just give me a shout or just maybe type it in the chat. And I got, like I said, I got 2 decks. One, so I have 2 tables, but also, you know, if I have to take any tables over to Sire's, I can. I'll have the resources. And since we're on here, check this out. I got this idea from Hambone, so I got to give a shout out to Hambone. I ordered some more fuel gauges, and I glued them together, Hambone. I don't know if you're still on here or not, but I'm doing that way they're easier to pick up. Giants. Oh, you're killing me, Corpo. Yes, the Cardinals are quickly turning into the Pirates of the National League. No offense if you're from Pittsburgh. So yeah, but stay tuned on the fuel gauge thing. That's all I'm gonna say. Just stay tuned on the fuel gauge thing. But yeah, I got this idea from Hambone, I believe. Great idea. And glued them together. They're not cheap. Took me a while. You can see I've already got, oops, a line up over here. Some I still have to do all that pile over there. Yep. Smart addition. All right. Well, thanks, guys. Good to see you, and hope you're doing well. If you have any questions, type them in the chat regarding the new deck. Like I said, they're makingplayingcards.com. Again, thanks. Shout out to Matt Todd for making them accessible to the community. He does a great job. And the rule book will be coming out. I think Sired's working on it right now here these couple days, and so that should be out here, I would guess, subsequently. And I'm sure, I would assume that there might be two options. I'm not sure. You can either just download the rule book for free off of the website, sireblood.com/community, or you can maybe, if he does it, order one of the fancy, professionally made ones like this one that was last year. Yeah, I got 2 decks, Sire. Bet you can't beat that. So yeah. I mean, and I don't know what I was gonna do. I think last year, if you came to BB3, part of your registration was you got a book. So yeah, he's got 40 of 52 pages done. That's awesome. Cool. All right, so I think that's all I have. If you have any questions, just type them in the comments below, and I'll try to respond at a later time. I guess I'll go up and finish my laundry in my sweet new washer and dryer. Hey Google, stop the laundry. But thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you chiming in, and let me know if you have any questions, all right? Good to see you guys. Take care.